Hey y'all, IrixGuy here. Welcome back to another live show. And this is IrixGuy's live show episode 121. That's right, been 121 episodes so far. So welcome everyone out. Thank you for tuning in. And we're going to talk about a little bit of everything. And by the way, this is well, obviously it's a live show. But if you would like to tune in live, shoot me a message, facebook.com/IrixGuy, because I've got the Skype online tonight. So if you want to Skype, if you want to tune in, be face on video, feel free. Also, if you can call New York City, feel free to call into the studio. I'll patch you in. We can chat about stuff in in real time. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get this boat off of the dock here. So let's see, we've got a bunch of good stuff, obviously, as usual. I've got the sound of the Super Chat. So anytime a Super Chat comes through, this thing will make a sound. Now, if we get through $100 US during a single live show, then I will break out the drum. So I'm going to put this over here for now, but y'all know it's here. And actually, I'll just kind of, well, I wish I could kind of I wish I had a holder for it so it could just kind of stick there and everybody could see it. But yeah, so a bunch of interesting stuff going on. I've got I've been doing a lot of work with indoor fitness equipment. I mean, inevitably now, because of the challenging times, most of us are wanting to stay in shape. As I hiccup from the fried fish and crab that I ate. So, not, and as I cough from the pandemic, but not exactly setting the healthiest example with the choice of cuisine. But, there's a thing that if you do your cardio, if you do your strength training, and you don't, don't go out and go ridiculous with what you eat. I mean, don't go all fried and greasy, eat you some stuff that's kind of healthy. But, if you don't go all out, if you're at least somewhat conscious about, what you're eating, you can do a lot of working out and still be good. Mike says, how's it going, IrixGuy? Only here for a few minutes, dead tired today. Dude, appreciate you tuning in. Now, speaking of that, what is today? Today is, it is Tuesday. It is Tuesday after a Labor Day weekend. I bet there's a lot of hungover people in the audience. Yep, Mike, welcome aboard. And, one of the things that's cool is, experimenting with all the technologies. Now, originally with the Schwinn IC4, and I've been doing a lot with the Schwinn IC4, I started out with the Zwift app, and I love the Zwift app. The Zwift app is great data within. You can track your miles. It's got a competitive component. It's got a leveling up component. So, as you ride more, you unlock virtual trophies, like shoes and glasses and cycling shirts and this, that, and the other. So it's got the motivational component. What I did not expect, and, anytime I see something, Mike says it's only Tuesday. Hey, you're right, man. When I see things like Peloton, it's heavily marketed on TV and social media, I kind of question, Gregory, welcome aboard, sir. I am drinking a, it's an appropriate beverage for this current situation. It's a Corona, and I'm not sponsored by them or anything. It's a Corona. It's one of those seltzers, a hard seltzer. So it's a Corona hard seltzer. So, yeah, it's pretty good, man. And let's see here. Let me... Mike says, I have the Peloton bike, and it's awesome. Don't use it in the summer. Wife and I did last winter. Plan on it again soon. Yeah, man. I mean, it's that's the thing. My wife likes I was going to go, I didn't know what to go with. I ended up going with the Schwinn IC4, which is basically the identical same bike as Bowflex C6, but it's the thing is you can run a variety of different apps on it, and for it, I've been doing Zwift, which Zwift is really cool, but it's, you know, I tried the Peloton app because you can use the Peloton app if you have a compatible bike. You don't just have to have the Peloton bike. So I downloaded the Peloton app, started the free trial, and I mean, I'll be frank with you, man, you know, going into it, I'm like, man, this is just, you know, in my mind, I was like, this is a product they've hyped up for the holidays. You know, that was a big holiday selling thing, like last year or the year before, whenever it was. And years have flown by, but it was, you know, it was one of those deals I didn't know what to expect. You know, I almost thought it was just kind of a fly-by-night type deal. I installed that app. I did my first workout. Now, keep in mind, I've been doing a competitor's app, Zwift, Z-W-I-F-T, for the past few weeks. I'm still fat, but I've lost like 8 pounds, man. I've been eating all kinds of crap and drinking hard seltzer and rum. But, yeah, I mean, it's an interesting thing because, you know, it's almost like, you know, they're trainers. You know, these people in the Peloton app, they're trainers, but they're almost kind of like psychologists. I mean, it's weird. You know, they talk to you, they motivate you, this, that, and the other. And subconsciously, you know, and again, I consider myself to be a self-motivated person. I'm very self-centered. I'm very, you know, independent. But with that being said, when I installed the Peloton app, just as a curiosity, some viewers had prompted me to do it. When I installed it and performed my first ride, I mean, I was puddling up the floor with sweat, which is great. You know, I got a mop, I got a towel, but it was just a testament to how good the Peloton experience is. You know, I didn't expect it. I mean, I went into it with a pessimistic type attitude, but to be frank, and I've got a trial for, I think it's like a month. So I'm going to continue to ride a few more. I think what's going to end up happening, I may, you know, I'm not going to have 2 apps because that's, you know, double the subscription fee a month, and that's stupid. You know, it's just money wasted. But I'm going to decide between Zwift or Peloton. And as good as Peloton's been, man, I mean, for me, this is a tool to become less fat. So, you know, it doesn't matter if I've got a virtual cycling course in front of me or if I've got something that's motivational. You know, it's, Mike says, I like how it uses stretching, weight training, etc., as well as the bike workouts. And that's a very good point. And that's something I haven't explored yet because I just installed Peloton app yesterday and tested it. And I only did it with the cycling, but that's what I want to do. I want to do the stretching, the strength training, because I can get all that added value out of it. I think, and again, not to quote prices, but I mean, it's very affordable. It's a very affordable experience per month. And I hope they don't, you know, I hope they don't have subscription creep where it continues to go up. But, you know, in lieu of not having a gym, because I mean, inevitably right now, I mean, I haven't been in the gym since March because of the pandemic. I miss the gym. You know, the gym is for me, it's the best, it's, you know, it's the best experience. But when you got this pandemic, you don't want to be breathing the air in an enclosed space. At least I don't. And, but it's been good. See, I like Peloton. Brad, welcome aboard, Brad. Are you tuning in for Spin Up this weekend? Dude, probably not because I'm going to be working on, I've got a big project that I'm putting together, and I'm going to be working on that. Actually, you know, to get the cat out, to take the cat out of the bag, I guess you would say, I'm working very closely with a good friend of mine that is, basically he's creating the next Facebook. And that's not an arrogant statement. That is hey, something big is coming, and you know I've got a certain amount of time to that, and that's my project time. So I probably won't be doing anything else, Brad. I'm sorry, man. Yeah, because I'm working on that, and we're trying to get a bunch of you know, as one might imagine, trying to get a lot of components that are in development make them more, what's the word for it, approachable. Make these components of this site more approachable, more friendly for the user, and that's kind of my thing. But I'd love to let me know how it goes. Circle back and we'll chat about it. I mean, I'd love to hear how that pans out. But yeah, the home fitness thing right now is it's a huge. It is. That's one of the, not to say anything positive. Mike says, when I pay dollars to go to the gym, I feel like I have to go to justify what I paid. Sometimes when I go into the basement, it is easy to not be as motivated. I own my equipment, so no pressure to work out. You said that perfectly, because that's so true. I mean, I've got, like you, I've got my spin bike, and then I've got my free weights, which I've got the Bowflex Select Tech, and then this cheap bench that I got, this very nice bench, but it's cheap, off of Amazon. The thing I miss, and, going to the gym, you're around other people, you just don't have, like you said, it's easy to not be as motivated. I mean, to be frank, you go into the gym, I'm not in there trying to get big. Back when I was in middle school and high school, I wanted to get big because I wanted to go to, go to college and be ripped. And I did go to college and I was ripped and at least the freshman year, and I got fat from drinking so much. But yeah, I mean, that was kind of my motivator, going to the gym, being around a bunch of people, getting in shape, having an end game, and, that end game being going to college and, getting all the women because you look good, because you're in shape. And that, that mission accomplished, that was a successful, the return on investment was great. It really was. But to your point, when you're working out in a basement and you're not in the gym, you don't have the motivation. I mean, you don't have other people around you. You go to the free weight area and, you're the guy that's kind of scrawny. You walk in there. I mean, inevitably, you're not going to be the scrawny guy for a long time because you're going to work out and you're going to be in shape. But it's that intimidation factor, whether you realize it or not, that, that adds value to the brick and mortar gym. And like you said, you own the stuff, so it's not like you're paying for it. So, I mean, you've already bought it. So if you use it, you use it. If you don't, you don't. Maybe you put it on Craigslist or Facebook, wherever you sell stuff. And, it's not a big deal. So Mike says, Peloton has live workouts, so that pressures me. I have to make it home to do a certain workout, and they will call you out. That's super I haven't done the live workout yet, but that's something I want to do. And actually, I need to do that tomorrow, because that's funny. You said they will call you out. That is motivational. That's how it ought to be, man. Make people, hold people accountable for their fitness goals. That is cool. I was talking to one of my business partners earlier this evening, and this is kind of interesting, and completely different conversation right now. But if you've ever put in, he's a seasoned software developer doing extremely well, this, that, and the other. But he was talking about because of the current situation, a lot of consulting gigs they've kind of tapered a little bit because people don't have. Companies don't have as much disposable cash as they did in the past. So, he was talking about, it's kind of his consulting gigs are kind of tapered off a little bit. And he says he's put in for a lot of places. Obviously, he's super qualified. I mean, this dude's a freaking genius. But the people that, he did have a few interviews, but some of the interviews were, they kind of ended in a letter. It came up and said, well, you're basically overqualified. And I learned something from that conversation this evening that I was not aware of. When I've heard you're overqualified for a position in the past, my assumption is that companies didn't want to place someone in a position if their credentials on paper greatly exceeded what they were hiring. And he put a different spin on it. And his friend of mine, he said, yeah, man, he said, actually the overqualified statement is kind of a CYA for the company. And what it is that now, and this is how messed up this world we live in is, now overqualified can be misconstrued as age discrimination. I mean, it's, if somebody in this world can sue somebody for something else, they're going to find a way to do it. And it's just, it's laughable because it's so ridiculous, but it's a sad reality. So, all these people out there nowadays that because of the pandemic have been displaced and, are looking for different opportunities and they're applying for these opportunities, maybe the stuff that's as good or better than what they had is hard to come by. And then they're being told that they're overqualified. That's a large percentage of the reason why, candidates are being told they're overqualified. Brad says, bought the smart controller recently. Got it this past Friday before the 3-day weekend. It'll definitely hold off my drone upgrade until Mavic 3, hopefully in the spring. Yeah, man, no reason to rush. No reason to rush and upgrade. I mean, dude, Mavic 2 Zoom that you have is awesome. Mavic 2 Pro is awesome. Mavic Air 2 is awesome. What is Mavic 3 or Mavic 3 Pro or whatever they're going to call it going to bring to the table that's so revolutionary? And I'm sure there'll be something. I mean, DJI is not just an awesome design company. DJI is a company that sells dreams. They come up with these new drone features, and you got to have it. It's kind of, and again, to repeat something that's been repeated over and over and over, a lot of people refer to Apple to Mike. Good to have you, sir. Thanks for tuning in, man. Have a good rest. But a lot of people have referred to the to DJI as Apple of drones. Justifiably so. I mean, their packaging is great. They're innovative. Well, they're not as innovative recently because they don't have any competition. But I mean, it's Mike says bigger camera maybe. There you go. Yeah, I mean that's a good possibility. I think the Mavic 3 will have at least a 1-inch sensor, but I hope to have a modular camera on Mavic 3. Brad says, did you hear the new iPhone announcement is next Tuesday the 15th? Actually, I didn't hear that. I heard that I did hear that Apple's having a launch event on the 15th, but I also heard that the release of the iPhone 12 was pushed back. So maybe, dude, hopefully we get the announcement on the 15th, and hopefully it becomes quickly available because actually my wife's cell phone's all jacked up. And, I was talking to her, I'm like, she's like, well, I don't want the latest tech. I'm like, well, I mean, there's different tiers of the latest tech. And, and her phone's jacked up, and I'm just like, look, do you want it now or do you want to wait a little bit? Let's wait on this. So if they announce and they release the new iPhone on the 15th, that'll be great because she needs a new phone. And speaking of that, do you know what the new features of the iPhone 12 may be? Is there going to be, do you think they're going to add USB-C, or is it still going to be Lightning port in the bottom? Or have you heard anything? To be perfectly blunt, the extent of what I heard is that the speculation that the design, instead of being more beveled on the edges, it's going to be more of like a square type shape, like the older model iPhones. But have you heard anything that sounds really cool? Jessica Garcia, first time catching you live. Sweet. Shout out to Jessica. Jessica, just because it's your first time catching me live, I'm going to sound the sound of the super chat. This device is reserved for whenever somebody chooses to super chat within the comments section. Hold on. But that's a special thank you for tuning in live, and I hope that you're able to tune in for upcoming live shows as well. It's good to have you. Haven't seen you on a live show before, and that is to be celebrated. There you go. Brad says, I recommend following Everything Apple Rumors on YouTube. Very knowledgeable and legit. I'll check that out, man. I followed And I haven't followed that one. I'm going to add that. I followed Mac Rumors, and then I do the This Week in Tech, and let's see, what's that? Is it not Mac? Is it Mac Update? The other show that Leo Laporte is part of, the Mac show, Mac Weekly. It's good. And see, I used to watch. I don't know if you remember, and you may not. Well, you probably don't, because I think you're younger. Back when I was in college, there was a channel, and it was called Tech TV. And on this Tech TV television channel, there was a show called The Screensavers, and it had all these people. It had Kevin Rose, it had Leo Laporte, it had all these really good people, and it was just all about tech. It was really cool, and that TV network went defunct. And then they got all these hosts that were just kind of like, I don't know. It went to the bottom of the barrel after that. But it was cool when it was in its prime, man, while that TV network existed. And I remember I got a satellite dish installed, not because I watched a lot of TV, but because at the time, it was one of the few ways that I could get that Tech TV channel. That's how cool of a channel it was. I really loved it. I really did. Brad says, check out MKBHD. I'll do that. Actually, I'm going to add MKBHD right now. Let me go over to my YouTube here. MKBHD. Oh, Marquise Brownlee. Yes, I'm already subscribed to him. He is, dude, he's got 12 million subscribers. 12 million. Man. Dude. Man, you know what's funny? He was on, and I subscribed to him a long time ago. I'm going to pull up, there's a site, you can pull it up. It's called socialblade.com. This has piqued my curiosity, man. MKBHD. MKBHD. Because I remember this dude back before he was big, because I followed him. I really liked his videos, and I'm like, man, this guy has, you can watch a channel and you can tell that somebody is really good. And this was one of those channels, because I subscribed to him a while back. Socialblade.com is it's a third-party site. If you ever want to research YouTube channels, and it pulls public information. Okay, so he created his channel on April the 23rd of 2009. Oh, actually, I just linked the wrong channel. Sorry. Hold on 1 second here. Marquise Brownlee has a lot more than that. Hold on. Here's Marquise's right here. Let me pull this up. Oh, okay. Yeah, this is more like it. So this is the link I meant to post. So this is to the third-party Social Blade site. Jessica, how do we sign up for notifications when you're live? Simple. Just go to my channel, youtube.com/IrixGuy. Click subscribe, and then ring that bell icon to be notified whenever I post another video. If you ring that bell icon, it'll notify you. Also, if you just check out the main page of youtube.com/IrixGuy periodically, like this show, I scheduled this particular live show. Some of my live shows I just go on and I don't have any advance notice. But the ones that I have upcoming, if you go to my main page, you'll see those listed there, and you can set a reminder. You can click the video for the upcoming live show, set a reminder, and it'll notify you. Also encourage you to check out my website, IrixGuy.com, because I've got a lot of stuff there. Marquise Brownlee. So this dude on Social Blade, I love Social Blade. This dude is rolling in the bank, man. And again, this is nothing, confidential. This is just, it's a third-party tool that guesstimates, YouTube partners, success. And I mean, this guy is set. If I had, and again, you gotta, I mean, this guy's got 12 million subscribers. This guy has created an empire. The reason I pulled this up was not to look at his earnings annually and just kind of be like, man, I'm a failure. But the reason I pulled this up was to pull up the historical chart. Let me see. I want to go back because I remember him from a few years ago because I've subscribed to him. But even looking at this main page, YouTube analytical history for Marquise Brownlee, which is still a huge number. But if you scroll back just as far as October of 2017, which wasn't too long ago, per this Social Blade site, third-party site, it looks like in October 2017, he only had about 128,000 subscribers. I hit him up, I think it was around 2015 or 2016. I hit this guy up well below 100,000 subscribers. He has since, so looking at October of 2017, roughly 128,000 subscribers. Today, I mean, that is phenomenal. I mean, today he has 12 million subscribers. 12 million subscribers. Video views, approximately 2,061,874,388. Again, these are all third-party estimates, but I found this site to be, man, that dude, I mean, that's when you just say, look, I've created this. I'm going to have fun with it for a few years. I'm going to stockpile my 50, 100 million, however many dollars it is, and just chill. That's the dream right there. I mean, this dude, Marquise Brownlee, has created, that should be the textbook definition of entrepreneurial success. He's done it, but he's still going. And see, that's the thing. Your serial entrepreneur, they probably never will become satisfied. They're always going to question, what's next? Well, I've done this, I've done that, but what's next? That's brilliant. Jessica says, the bell. I never hit that and didn't. Cool, thanks. We watch a lot of your stuff because we have the same setup and trying to figure it all out. Love your videos. The same setup as in, are you using ATEM Mini Pro and Rodecaster Pro, or what in your setup is the same? Speaking of that, if you have the same setup, what would be really cool is if we did some sort of YouTube collab, maybe some sort of collaborative, educational, maybe a live stream or something like that. I mean, that's, I love collaborating with other YouTubers, and I love tutorial type content, whatever it is. So, I'd be, definitely game for something like that. And the best way to contact me is facebook.com/IrixGuy, because I'm always looking for YouTube collaborations. Great way to cross-pollinate, people's subscribers organically. Man, that just blows my mind. 12 million subscribers. That is like, dude. Wow. That's when you know you've done it. I mean, that is when you know you've done it. Wow. So that's the thing. I mean, and an interesting, and this was another thing that came up, and we're the world right now is in a, we're worldwide, we're experiencing something that's never been experienced before, and that's, a global crisis. The guy that you just mentioned, Brad, MKBHD, Marquise Brownlee, he has 12 million with an M, 12 million subscribers. That is nuts. Yeah. Yeah, he is. Dude, like I said, when you mentioned that, I'd already subscribed to him, but when I subscribed to him, it was many years ago. It was well below 100,000 subscribers, and I watched his video, and I'm like, dude, this guy, you know, when you watch a video, the video is perfect, all the editing is perfect, and you're just like, man, this guy's got skills, you know, and you want to watch, you know, to better your own channel. And then I look back, because you mentioned that, I hadn't looked at this guy's channel in a few years. 12 million, dude, man. Mahogany Hicks, woo! Welcome aboard. Yeah, Brad, he is awesome. He really is. I think he may, and correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't he linked in with what used to be Tech TV, and then it was G4, and I think G4 went under. But wasn't he linked in with that crew? You know, like the Kevin Rose that, you know, Kevin Rose moved on to Hodinky. Kevin Rose started Dig Nation. That was a really cool cat. I really liked him. I liked watching Dig Nation shows a long time ago. Jessica says, perfect. I'll hit you up there. Robert mentioned it to you earlier, and we would be thrilled. Seriously, let's do it. Let me know what y'all's schedule is. I've got this week. This week it would be great. I mean, if you want, if y'all want to do a live show, just let me know the day this week. Today's Tuesday. I could do something Wednesday. Wednesday or Thursday would be awesome. Tomorrow or Thursday would be awesome if y'all have got time. Just let me know what your thoughts are as far as, like, you know, content. Do you want to host it on your channel? Do you want me to host it on my channel? Doesn't matter to me. I just think it'd be a cool, chat about whatever, collaboration type YouTube video. So just let me know. Let's see. Brad says he's only 25. Jessica says, hi, Brad. First time making it live. Stoked to be here. Gregory, hi, Jessica. Welcome. Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's the thing about this show. We want a ton of people. I mean, this is a, ultimately it's a way to have fun, but it's also an experiment. And I mean, live streaming is the future. And it's, let's see. Jessica, do you have a link to what's weird when I'm in the live show and I try to subscribe to your channel? Used to, you could click the people's name within the chat and you could subscribe, but for whatever reason, it's not letting me do that. If you want to post a link to your channel, that'd be cool. So everybody in here can subscribe. But yeah, this is an interesting time that we're all in, because there's a huge shift from traditional, or I should say more traditional business models. And again, I don't know how old everybody is here, but I'm kind of an older cat, I mean, I was, what's the word for it? I was trading stocks before the brokers exist. I mean, before the online brokers existed. You had to go to a brick and mortar building to trade stocks. So, and that was before the internet and, just a different time. I mean, streaming video, especially because of, whoa. That, my friends, is the sound of the super chat. And that super chat was from Jessica. Jessica says, want to say happy birthday to my Uncle Robert, who found your channel and sent me here. Happy birthday, Uncle Robert. Happy birthday, Uncle Joey. So, Jessica, deeply appreciated. And I definitely look forward to some YouTube collabs. Thank you so much. So, yeah, this live show stuff, I mean, I'm telling you, this is, and I'm sure y'all know this, but, it's old dude like myself, This is, I firmly feel that streaming video and live shows will be, they'll be a greater event than when the internet became mainstream. You know, back when Netscape Communications released the web browser, this is a long time ago. I was using the internet with AOL, CompuServe. I ran a multi-node bulletin board service out of the house. You know, this was back before the internet. So, but I think that internet streaming video, internet live shows, I think that this is going to be a much bigger market than, there's going to be some things, and there already have been tons of things, but I think we're going to see business as we know it radically change, not just because of the pandemic, but because of the mass adoption of internet streaming, you know, live content, coupled with the unwillingness and or inability for people to go to brick and mortar and pick stuff up and interact. So, you know, this live stream is going to become the new face-to-face interaction. So it's really fascinating to see where this is going. Jessica says, sure, I'll message him. He might be working this week, but I'll check. That would be awesome. As soon as y'all can, I'd definitely love to. Brad says, I've sold my Parrot AR 2.0, Parrot Bebop drone, Phantom 3 4K Spark Mavic Air. Currently only have my Mavic 2 Zoom and my Mavic Mini. There you go. That's all you need, man. You got the Mini for the USB, recharge in the field, ultra portable. And you got your Mavic 2 Zoom for the good quality, plus Zoom capability. Oh, podcast buddies. Cool. Let me subscribe right now. And by the way, I'm going to subscribe, but my privacy settings on my channel, when I subscribe, I don't think it shows people that I subscribe to their channel, so don't feel like I didn't subscribe because I did. I just, let's see. Podcast buddies. Let's see here. Oh, Gregory says, I remember playing Pioneer Trail, shooting a deer. Yeah, those Oregon Trail days were awesome, man. I remember that. Woohoo! Yeah, we got it rolling on here. We've got exciting stuff. It is absolutely incredible. Yeah, mark my words, there is a market right now that's being unlocked it's going to change business as we know it. I mean, it's going to change everything. Gregory Ruger, I have subscribed to you, but what I want to remind everyone watching this live stream, whether you're watching it live right now or if you're watching it previously recorded, be sure to subscribe to Gregory Ruger. Be sure to subscribe to Brad Hendo. Be sure to subscribe to Podcast Buddies. And, you know, there you go. Robert, welcome aboard, man. Welcome aboard. Look forward to a YouTube collaboration video. If y'all want to host it, if y'all want me to host it, we can chat about whatever you want to. Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is, let's see what we got here. But yeah, Jessica and Robert talking about, you know, just pure awesomeness. This ATEM Mini Pro and the Rodecaster Pro, I mean, you know, initially it's like, dude, that's like a lot of cash to throw at something when I can do it with software. And then like you start using it, and it's like, now I got a hardware solution. I've got professional audio. I've got I've offloaded. Gregory, you rock, sir. Got professional audio. I've got video that this chroma key is controlled by the A10 Mini Pro, which was unheard of with software solutions. I don't have a subscription. I don't have to renew my support for, and again, not a strike at Wirecast. Wirecast was good for what it did, but I don't miss Wirecast. I mean, I bought this hardware and now I'm like, I'm feeling like Trump. I've got the good stuff and that's the one thing. When you're dealing with whether it's a live stream or just a regular YouTube video, audio quality and video quality makes a huge difference. I mean, if you don't have both, you're not, you can muddle along. I mean, I know a lot of YouTubers that they've got a smartphone, and because their content's so creative and engaging that they still do exceptionally well. But when you couple those abilities with, premium hardware to get the audio and video just nailed. I mean, and I've still got to work. My lighting is good. I love these panels. But I've still got to work on my white balance. That's an objective I've got for Q4 of 2020 for IrixGuy's Adventure Channel, is working on the white balance. So there's always opportunities to improve. Whether you think there may be or not, there's always opportunities to improve. Improve your YouTube channel. So it's it is fascinating stuff, man. So what has been, with your experience with the A10 Mini Pro and the Rodecaster Pro, what has been the biggest head scratcher, the biggest challenge that you've encountered with that equipment so far? What's been the toughest thing to figure out? Admittedly, I like hard seltzer, but this is too sweet. I'll drink it anyway. I'm gonna stick with the other stuff. How do we find your Skype? Do you want to Skype, Robert? Do you want to Skype in right now, dude? I can toss you. Well, I've got both ways. I can do. If you can call New York number, I've got my studio number right here on my yellow studio phone, and then I've also got Skype. If you want me to fire up Skype, I can fire it up right now. If you want to message me, Facebook.com/IrixGuy, shoot me a message, and I'll be happy to reply with the Skype address. If you want to tune in right now, we can go live, face on video, and chat if you want to, or I can toss you the number to the studio, and you can call in and we can chat live on the phone. Of course, I'm doing all that through the Rodecaster Pro. Yeah, definitely. Robert, I don't want to publish a studio number here in the chat, as you might imagine. I don't want to put that number out there, but toss me a message, Facebook.com/IrixGuy. And I'll reply with a number. If you want to call in right now, I'll be happy to answer, and we can chat live on air, man. That'd be cool. Okay, let's see. What do we have here? Actually, I'm going to fire up to Skype. That's funny, Greg. I've got the link for Skype. Let me toss this over here, man. We're gonna fire up to Skype. So, Greg, if you want to join this, and I can do Skype plus phone. So, if Robert's dialing in from phone, I can also have Skype for Greg. Yeah, Greg, try to join that. Sorry, I had my Facebook closed. I just saw your message there. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Okay, I was making sure I have my So I never wear my headphones unless I'm bringing, Skype and or landline guest on the show. Yeah, Jessica, I echo what Brad says. I couldn't find your channel either. So let's see, Brad, I'm going to fire this up. And Brad, when you dial in, what I'll do is move this over to my virtual monitor, and then at that point we can go live face on video. Because what'll happen right now, I'm on my primary camera with green screen, but if you join in through Skype, then you should be able to hear me through this, and they should be able to hear you and me as well. But we'll just segue over to the other screen, which would be kind of cool. Let's see. Whoa, I just dragged that over to the other screen there. Let's see. There it is. Woohoo! This thing is so cool. I tell you, this is the coolest toy. Well, I shouldn't call it a toy because it's a tool. When you're dealing with toys, you do have return on investment, ROI, which is fun. But when you're dealing with tools, you also have return on investment, which can be fun as well. But this has been, this ATEM Mini Pro has been an outstanding investment. Really has been. It's just fun to learn it too. Aha, message sent on Facebook. Aha, there we go. There's Jessica, wants to call in and said to message you. Okay. Jessica, I'm going to plug in my studio phone here, and I'm going to toss you the number so Robert can call in. Now, the cool thing is, and I know you know this because you've got the Rodecaster Pro as well. This right here, I prefer to plug it in with the hardwired cable, but you could use Bluetooth. So let me go in, and I'm going to shoot you the dial-in number, and then let me make sure this is muted first here. 1 2 1 2. Okay, 1 2 1 2. Okay, there we go. Mute. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. I'm going to toss you the dial-in number for the studio, IrixGuy's Adventure Channel Studio. And it is going to be incoming here. Okay, Jessica, I'm typing it into Facebook right now. And then I'm holding the studio phone in my hand. So when y'all call, there we go. I'm awaiting your call. If you want to call in, you'll be live on IrixGuy's Adventure Channel. It's the yellow studio phone. Okay, so let's see. Oh, I missed a call from Greg. Greg called Skype. Greg, try to call back. I missed your call at 7:49. I was in the other window. Try to call back, man. I guess I've got to accept when you dial in. I've got to accept the call. Yeah, Gregory, I saw your call, but I didn't answer. Yeah, try it again. I bet I've got to click something. That's the cool thing about this, man. It's learning all the tech. Oh, I guess I've got to. Oh, I've got to join the. Wait a minute. It says missed call from Greg at 7:52. Greg, I've got something that is not exactly right. Hold on. I'm gonna figure this out. I've got something that's, let's see. I think I just missed. No, that was old. Never mind. No, I think I just missed. Let's see. Let me get the caller on the line first. Yeah, Robert, I just missed your call, sir. Call right back. I failed to. I didn't have my ringer on, and I was looking at the screen. Call, but I'm not going to read your number off. But I saw your number call in. Try again, and I'll answer it this time. Sorry about that. Let's see. I'll get Robert in here on the phone, and then I'll do. I'll get Greg on Skype here. I read your number off, but oh, there's Greg. Oh, you're trying.
Hey.
Sorry about that. What's up, man?
¿Cómo está from Iowa?
Good deal. I'm gonna patch you in here on the live stream here.
Okay, I'm gonna put my headphones in. My audio coming in okay?
Yeah, it sounds good. I bet everybody can hear us too. Can everybody hear? Can everybody hear Greg and I on the live stream? Let's see. There we go. And let's see. I'm going to pop us over here on the YouTube. So, yeah, really, if we talk to each other, because you're probably seeing me from my FaceTime camera. Can you hear me okay? Is there a delay or?
If you're talking to me, there's not much of a delay. I can see your green screen though. Okay. So I'm not patched in. I had to close YouTube.
Okay, so I'm going to pop open, I'm going to flip over to our screen here. Okay, so now everybody should see, okay, there's Greg. See you on the YouTube. Now Greg, let's get Robert in from, let's see, Robert called me on the phone, and Robert, I missed your call again, man. Let me get Robert in with us. This will be a cool test. This will be Robert will be on the phone. Greg will be on the Skype. And let's see here. Here we go. I'm going to call Robert here. Robert, I don't know, Robert, I don't know what's going on with my studio phone. Could you do Skype as well, or do you just have a phone? That's funny. There's some weird noise in here, man. What's going on with the sound here? That's a weird sound. Do you hear that? Or is that just on my end? How about now? Can you hear me? Can you still hear me, Greg?
Close my internet and just leave it on Skype for this, which is fun.
Yeah, I think it's coming through now. It's just weird. It was Robert needs a link to Skype. Let me shoot let's see, I'm going to shoot Robert over through Facebook the link to Skype that we're on right now. Let's see. Okay, Robert, it's on its way, man. This will be the Skype link. Try joining that, and I think this may work. I've done the phone in the past, but for whatever reason, my phone's not ringing, which is it's kind of weird. Updated the firmware. So, Greg, welcome aboard, man. Tell us about your YouTube journey. Tell us whatever you want to tell us. Go for it.
I don't think we have enough time for that, but I started YouTube in, I think, 2009, and I was flying just RC airplanes, attaching camera devices to the bottom of the planes, losing them in cornfields, and then drones came out, and I kind of just took it off from there, and was able to put that bird's eye perspective and join it along with flying for aeronautics. Kind of worked out real well, and now I'm a commercial 107. I do cinematography, I do search and rescue. Right now I'm doing some real estate. I'm covering lots of ground. It looks like nothing's there, but it's for sale. So developer's been hiring me, and then they reached out to a golf course, and then the owner of the golf course called me, and he brought me out there and brought me with the drone, and I shot his golf course, and I'm doing another golf course next month. So it's not something I can quit my full-time job, but it's very nice extra coin in the pocket, and that's basically who I am. I used to box. I drive a truck. Live in Iowa.
That's cool,
That's
man.
about it.
You've got it. It sounds like you've kicked off that drone business, and that's. I guess y'all do a lot of word of mouth advertising in Iowa as well, don't you?
Yes, we do. Yep. I had my website professionally built through, I believe, Wix, and then GoDaddy. I have it touched up every now and then. Doing work on the news, covering some cool stories has helped me. I've covered some, I've said before, I've covered a murder, I've covered some kids missing. I don't really like that aspect of work. Honestly, put me in the mountains with a drone and 3 or 4 batteries, and I'm good to go. Let me gather some content that way and keep my bear spray with me.
There you go.
I've had that bear talk before.
Robert, welcome aboard, Robert.
My internet may not be the best.
I can hear you okay. Greg, can you hear Robert?
Yeah, a little bit. Yes, I can.
I don't know what I have going on in the background.
You sound clear. Are you coming through the Roadcaster as well?
No, I'm coming straight from my Surface.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm in an RV right now, away from home where I have my setup. But this is great. Like, this is the type of troubleshooting that I can't get done on my own. So interacting with you guys is terrific.
That's awesome, man. So now do you use obviously you use the A10 Mini Pro and also the Roadcaster Pro, but do you use for the A10? Do you use
away from home where I have my setup?
We got an echo. Do you use do you stream from the A10 Mini Pro's network port, or do you plug your A10 Mini Pro into USB and use it like that?
So I watched about a month ago, right when you had uploaded that other video, and I don't know if this is still up there. I don't know how to change that background.
Hey, that's a good background.
That's my friend Bob over here. And anyways, but the point is, so I watched your video where you took that left and right to 3.5 from the Roadcaster over to the A10, and then I was able to get the audio to go from the Roadcaster over to the A10. So that worked perfect.
And you had to set your I guess your mic input into line instead of mic.
Correct.
That's the thing that killed me. I dug and dug online, and I'm like, what can this be? And then that little setting in the bottom left, because you heard the hiss, and it's like, this is a premium audio product, and I'm getting background noise on the thing. But so,
and you went to the back.
Yeah.
Of the A10.
Yeah. So I went the left and right on the Roadcaster, and then went to mic 1 on the back of the ATEM.
Correct. And then these people at ATEM, they drive me crazy because then I don't know how long you've been sitting on your ATEM for, your Pro, but I sat on mine for about 3 weeks after I got it, trying to figure out if I had the cables and all of that stuff. And then the following day that I hook it up, they released the ISO one, which I don't know if I even need, but you know.
I've looked at the ISO one, and again, I don't, for my workflow for these live streams and bringing in Skype, bringing in phone callers, and and that sort of stuff. I don't know if it's something I even need. I don't know if you use it, but I don't even use the recording capability built into the ATEM Mini Pro.
Right, you're going straight to YouTube, right?
Yeah, I'm going straight to YouTube. ATEM Mini Pro network port is going straight to YouTube. And then this audio right now, so the way that we're currently wired up, I've got my MacBook Pro right here on my desk. And then it's a USB-C to an HDMI cable. So that's plugged into input. So what we're seeing it says, "Hi, Mom." We're seeing HDMI or camera, I guess I should say camera 3 or camera 2 is what I'm projecting to YouTube right now. So when this live show started, I was on camera 1, which is my camera, and then camera 3 is my green screen, and camera 4 is my intro and outro. So I've got 2 Apple TVs. I've got one on camera 3, one on camera 4, and those I just use AirPlay to stream a video clip to. And then camera 1 is my face on video camera, and then camera 2 is this virtual desktop where I'm sharing Skype right now. So it's worked really well so far.
Your setup is the best setup
Very good.
I have found on all of YouTube, and I watch hours upon hours of YouTube every day. And there is no setup. You're describing of how, first of all, with your links in the description, to everything that you need to set it up the way that you have it. And it just so happened that I had the equipment identical to what you have. Oh, except my camera is A6400. So you got me on the camera.
Well, it's identical. I mean, from a video perspective.
It's the A66.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, but your setup is just spot on. Like, if the ATEM website had your information on there, man, it just would make everything so much easier, because it took a while to find your site, like your videos.
So how did and this is kind of a curiosity, and I'll throw it out there. I don't sugarcoat anything on this channel. Part of the reason I bought this equipment was because, number one, I was tired of paying, and Wirecast was a good product, but you had to pay a software subscription fee every year, and if you didn't, basically the new Mac OS would break it, so you were kind of cornered into buying it. So I wanted to get away from that, but the other part was, I'm like, you know what, this is a cool technology that would be cool to learn, and that's kind of why I bought it. And I'm like, can I make this product do what I want to do and what a lot of other people may do? So how did you find, because that's why I posted these videos. How did you find it? Was it a YouTube search or a Google search, or how did you run across them?
Well, Jessica, my niece, and I had everything, and I just couldn't figure out how to get the audio to the ATEM, or if ATEM had to go through the road. I couldn't figure that out. And then I don't know if it was her or me who came across your video, but we shared it. But it wasn't that one. It was one before that. But I could tell that your system was, I think you were talking about the ATEM. And then when we came across the one that got me to that cable that you listed in the description, that was straight off of YouTube, but just going through your videos and seeing which ones applied to what I was trying to do. Because you can find countless great videos on just the Rode or on just the ATEM, but you can't find anything that links the two. Not like you.
Well, that's awesome, man, because it's a cool tool, and I hope that I hope that if you run into anything or I run into anything that we can't, like tonight, for example, I had a problem with my phone, and I've used this before, plugging it in with the audio cable to the lightning. This worked fine, but for whatever reason, when you were calling me tonight, it didn't, I couldn't make it work. So that was weird.
So, we've tried to put on a couple of, like test shows, just, BSing around me and Jessica and my friend Bob, who was up over here with the Trump mask on earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And if I go through the road, I have a bunch of issues, but if I go through the road to Bluetooth, I get that hiss. My Rode has developed a hiss this last time that I used it, and I put it away. And I've only used the thing maybe like 4 times. Hasn't been dropped. I got all my stuff at Sweetwater, the Rode stuff.
Yeah.
And bought the big Pelican case. So it's not like I've dropped it or yanked it or anything like that. So I got to figure out what that hiss is. But what we were trying to figure out is, and so right now Jessica's watching the YouTube. I shut down YouTube like Greg did. So I'm just on this. I don't know how long of a delay is going on the other.
I got it pulled up on my phone and I have it muted, and I'm in the conversation with my headphones right now. So when I'm nodding and I'm looking at myself on the phone, there is a lag. But while I'm right here with the conversation, I pulled up my phone and I have it just below me on my printer, and I can see you. You have a crazy background in the background. That's cool.
Yeah, one of the Skype ones.
Right. So you're doing the Skype back, like you said, you're on the Surface right now. So you're not doing the ATEM background. You're doing the Skype background.
Yeah, I'm over at work. I work like 4 hours away from where I live. So
cool.
But I saw I texted you earlier today. I replied to one of your videos that popped up on my stream on YouTube, and then you got back to me like in 10 minutes, which I was eternally grateful for. Asking about how to get the audio, because one of the other issues that we're running into is we can't get, but it's been on Zoom. So if I try to play, all right, this gets a little bit confusing, but just hear me out for 2 seconds.
Yeah.
So if I was trying to play a video for both of you guys, right? Let's say I'm interviewing both of you guys and I want you guys to see a video. My issue is that I cannot get that audio from the video over to you guys and have it come out on YouTube at the same time. If you know what I mean.
Here's what I would do in that scenario. I think I know exactly what you need. So, okay, I'm going to answer that question, but before I answer it, I'm going to explain how this audio is working, and that'll kind of better paint the picture. So right now in Skype, so Skype that I'm sharing on camera number 2 on the ATEM Mini. So that's the visual that everybody on YouTube is seeing. The audio, when I went into Skype, within Skype, I selected speaker, Rodecaster Pro, and microphone, Rodecaster Pro. So that's how the audio is going to Skype, and the way that the viewers are hearing the audio is the left and right on the Rodecaster plugged into mic 1 on the ATEM Mini Pro. So that's how this works. In your scenario, where you're wanting to show a video, what I would do for that, you're going to have 2 mics on the ATEM end. So you're going to have, let's say, mic 1. Let's say your Rodecaster's plugged into mic 1. So that's your microphones, whatever else. That's mic 1. But in addition to mic 1, what you'll want to do is run from your computer an HDMI cable into one of the other 4 camera, HDMI inputs on the ATEM Mini. And then you will select audio follows video for that. So that way when you switch, you're doing an interview, you switch to say, let's say you put it in camera 3 and that's your computer screen that's playing the video. When you switch to camera 3 on your ATEM Mini Pro and play the video, they should hear the audio. But from your computer, you also need to select for your speakers. You use a Mac, you use Windows, right? You said Windows Surface.
No. So I have a Mac for that setup. And I'm thinking with what you're saying, I think I need to run 2 computers. One one for Skype or Zoom, whatever, to rebroadcast it, right? And then
Yeah, so think of Skype. So think of Skype as, you know, it's on its own camera too. So
Right.
that's your Skype, and you know you're using your Rode audio for Skype. Think of camera 3 as just a video display thing. You know, if you're playing, let's say you're playing that video from, you could be playing it from a laptop. Maybe you're streaming it from an Apple TV. You know, maybe you've got an Apple TV plugged into camera port 3 of ATEM Mini. The big thing is, if you're streaming it from a computer to say camera 3, you need to make sure that computer audio, when you select the output within the OS, Windows or Mac OS, that you select that, because it'll detect that, you know, like it'll give it a name or whatever, and that's what you would select as the audio output. That way it's
Right.
outputting audio to camera 3 on your ATEM. The easiest thing to do, though,
and if
seriously,
if the audio is following the camera, so in this case it's 3 that it's following, right? The example that you gave, then would it cut out all the audio that's coming in from 1 or 2? So if you were on 1 and Greg's on 2, it would cut your guys' audio while I play the video. Once I stop the video, then I could pick you guys up.
let me do a screen share. I'm gonna blank y'all out for a minute with this screen right here. I'm gonna show you in my ATEM. I think this will make more sense. So I think what you're saying is doable. Let's see. I apologize. I lost my. This is weird. I lost my. I'm trying to drag it over to y'all's screen here. Okay, I'm feeling really stupid. Let me go over to y'all's screen, and I'm going to minimize. I'm going to minimize Skype for a second, and then we're gonna pull this up so we can see what's going on here. So this is my Skype. So I'm gonna take y'all off of the. Well. Okay, here we go. So I'm gonna take y'all off of the screen. Now y'all should just see my desktop. Now here we go. Do you see ATEM software control?
Nope. I'm still in Skype. Oh, but are you showing that to us on YouTube?
Yeah, it'll be on YouTube.
All right, hold on.
YouTube's about 5 seconds behind us, to be honest. It's like we're a news reporting right now.
So yeah, YouTube should come up in a minute. Just let me know when you see ATEM software control on YouTube.
I got it on mine on YouTube. Yep, and then we're up in the corner screen.
Cool. So this is the audio tab of ATEM Mini Pro. So talking about the audio follows video, here's the thing, and I don't know if this is a current limitation with ATEM Mini Pro, but you can see mic 1, that's where we're talking right now. So mic 1 is everything I've got going out to YouTube. That's me talking to y'all. That's y'all talking to me, and you know it's going out the ATEM Mini Pro's. This master is just kind of a combination of all the audio sources. Camera 3 is my intro that I'm not showing right now. And see, I've got it set to audio follows video. So in your scenario, you would have a couple options. If you plugged in, let's say an Apple TV, or just plugged in your laptop with HDMI cable, and you're playing that video, if you've got it on AFV, you're not going to hear the audio until you switch to that camera port.
Right.
In my case, camera 3. But see, if I flip it over, listen to this, we'll hear music. It's going to start playing music, and then I'm going to put it back on audio follows video. But that's a video I've got. That's my intro and outro clip. I think for you with the video, if you wanted to have, so if camera 3 was your video that you're playing that has audio, if you put that to audio follows video, when you flip over and show it, you're still going to have audio from your Rode. See, mic 1 is my Rode. For whatever reason, mic 1 and mic 2 doesn't have an AFV and audio follows video. Well, I guess that would make sense because there's no video in those mic ports.
Right.
So I guess you would just have to temporarily toggle this off if you didn't want audio along with the video.
So let me ask you a question.
Sure.
How would you do this if you were trying to interview somebody? Okay. And of course, you know, you can't be in the same place. So if you're trying, I don't know where Greg's at. So you're trying to interview Greg and you want him to see something and then react to it or then comment on it, whatever. Then how would you go? Is your setup set up to do this, to do that, or no?
Yeah. Yep. So my setup, so like right now where you're seeing ATEM software control, I can move this around. You'll see my desktop. So this is on my ATEM Mini Pro. Camera 2 is an HDMI cable plugged into camera 2 on the ATEM Mini Pro. And then it runs into my MacBook Pro to USB-C because I've got USB-C video output on the MacBook. So in essence, what you can do, and this is how I'm doing it right now in my studio, where I'm showing y'all the ATEM software control. Camera 2 for me is just a monitor. But when you go into, see up here at the top, if you go to output when you're in software control, you can see that I've got camera 2 comp selected. I added the comp, so that just means computer instead of multi-view. So I've got a regular physical monitor in front of me. I've got my laptop, but then I've got a regular physical monitor that when I select output within ATEM software control, I see a full screen monitor, except it's not an actual monitor. It's what is displaying to YouTube because it's camera 2. So I'm able to, in essence, manipulate that physical monitor on my desk that represents camera 2 on the ATEM Mini Pro. So if I toggle to multi-view, I would see all the other stuff. But if I go to camera 2, it just makes camera 2 full screen, so I'm able to still use that monitor and see the fine print. And if I wanted to pull, you know, I've got software control up here. I could pull a video up here. I could pull, you know, a photo, whatever you want. So that's how I would use it.
Keep it clean.
What's that?
Are you running like a full gig internet?
What is that now? I'm sorry, you broke up.
Oh no, that's fine. Are you running a full gig internet?
No, man. It is crappy. I'm on about a 50 meg downstream and about a 3 meg upstream on a good day. But I've got the output settings within ATEM Mini Pro. I've got it set to low. So right now we'll see right now it shows the stream is about, in the bottom right, it shows about 3.3 megabits per second.
Yes, it does. See, it worked out good for you, though.
It works. Yeah, I mean, it cuts the mustard. I wish I could get, once that high-speed internet becomes available, I definitely want to switch.
Yeah, I have fiber optic, but I think it's only like 300 megabytes.
That's fast.
Yeah, it is fast.
Wow. I'm on 100 here.
Well, when I try to do the Zoom, if I try to play a video on Zoom by screen sharing, and I think I might be overloading my computer now that we're talking about this. But if I try to show you a video on Skype, you'll get this ungodly buffering on the video.
Ah, gotcha. Now that is a challenge on lower. I'm trying to think about. I know what you're saying. I'm trying to think about that because I haven't actually. Well, hey, let's do this. Let me pull a video up right now and let's see what it looks like on this. I'm going to pull up a video and we'll see if it. And you're probably not going to hear audio because I've got the audio not included right now with that. But
yeah,
I can. Let's see. Let me pull up a video here. Let's see. This is 4K. So I'm just going to pull this up. This is just, see, there you go. There's a video. And I'm going to hit play on it. So there's no audio, but you should be able to see the tree and the water moving.
Yeah, I can see it now.
So that, you could do audio with that. Oh, cool. I see your phone, Greg.
Yeah. Yeah, it's coming in pretty quick. There's about a 5-second delay to what we're doing here on the laptop to where it goes to my phone.
But here's the challenge to this is the challenge here would be, if we added audio to this, I guess you would have to go in, because otherwise if I did have audio in this video, it would go over everything. Let me pull open a video I've got with audio and see what happens here. That'd be a good test.
Touche.
Yep. There's a photo. I took that on top of Rockefeller Center. So you can share. I mean, using this virtual monitor, you can do a lot. But I'd be curious to play with the audio part of it. Another thing would be if you could somehow get some cabling and just pipe in that, even if it was a physical cable connection, have audio from whatever computer or whatever sharing the video, and just patch it in with your mic 1.
I think that's what I'm gonna do. So when I first did this, I have a new MacBook Pro showing up. It arrives tomorrow. So
oh yeah,
if I use that specifically for this part, and then another computer I was using the HDMI to go to, let's say, camera 3 on the ATEM, but then I had the USB 3 going from the ATEM also to the same computer. I think it was just too much for it.
Yeah, the Mac handles it well, because like right now in my Mac, I've got the USB from the Rodecaster plugged into USB-C on my MacBook Pro. So I've only got 3 cables in my Mac right now. I've got the power cable, I've got the USB running into the Rodecaster Pro, and then I've got that USB running into camera 2 that we're using for the screen share. That's it.
What do you gotta do when you gotta pee?
When you gotta pee, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take a break. Let's take a recess and come right back.
I mean, you got a bottle under the desk or something?
Well, I got an empty bottle. I'll be right back.
Copyright. I gotta pee real quick too.
Yeah, we'll be right back.
Oh hell yeah!
No, I can't hear you, Greg. Greg, can you hear me?
Back again.
Well, welcome. I feel much better. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to have to excuse myself.
So,
Well, I'll tell you what. I this is just like too much help. Like it's not even right that you're helping out so much, but it's great that you are.
well, I appreciate it because you've helped me because, number one, you've said that these videos are discoverable. They provide value. And that's what I'm about. I'm always trying to find like the kind of niche down tutorial topics because there's a lot of high level stuff for most anything. But if you can find well, that's great, but what if this, what if that, what if that? If you can find the minutia is always what's really cool.
In my opinion, getting those two things to work together is more high level than most of the ATEM videos that are out there. With the exception of the guys that are doing the macros. The macros are, wow, like blow my mind.
Those are cool.
That's just another level. But this is more useful than nearly people bring up their ATEM. Hey, look, I got an ATEM and it's great and it does this. But how to physically set it up, how to get it to work with the road, yeah, there's nothing else out there. It just doesn't exist.
Well, it's funny you said the macro part because that's something that, and I think after you start doing your show, you'll probably find the need for macros as well. I haven't played with them yet, but I think, like when you start a show, you've got your intro graphic, I think, once you figure out how you're going to structure everything, I think the macros are just going to add a whole new level of user friendliness to it.
So I was wondering if you thought that integrating, which seems kind of like overkill, but OBS to the whole thing, if that's just a different, like a wrong way to do it or too much of like a roundabout way to do it.
OBS is good. Open Broadcaster Studio is a very cool tool. Probably just as powerful as Wirecast. I came from Wirecast. My personal preference, and again, I'm not an expert in this field, but at least for now, I've stayed away from OBS. I've challenged myself, just like with the Skype right now. How can I accomplish everything I want to accomplish for my YouTube show without having to introduce additional software? And so far, I've done that. And again, the two Apple TVs that I have on camera 3 and camera 4, I can stream videos to those. Camera 2 is my screen share that we're on right now, and camera 1 is my face on video when I do the green screen. So I want to stay away from the additional software components if I can. If I can somehow do it with hardware, I'm going to go that route just because I don't feel like I'm tethered to any sort of, point of failure. I mean, software can crash. It can overload your computer. There's often, now with OBS, you don't have the cost, at least currently. I think it's open source. But, if I can stick to a hardware solution, that's the direction I'm going right now. But there's nothing wrong with integrating that, especially if you can become comfortable with OBS. I would probably stray away from using, any of the green screening and that in it, because I think, using the ATEM Mini Pro, its hardware to do the green screen is so much better. It takes that off of your computer's load. Even with a MacBook Pro like you ordered, I mean, that's a powerful machine, but if you're green screening real time, I never could achieve the results with it that I could with this dedicated ATEM Mini Pro's green screen.
Well, Jessica's in the process of doing exactly what you did with painting your back wall green, because that's a brilliant idea. Instead of having curtains and all sorts of stuff, the way is just perfect.
Yeah, those are.
Or buying a platform for the green screen in the background. Paint is way better.
Yeah, just be sure you don't get anything glossy. You need to get, and the paint, exactly what I used was Sherwin-Williams flat latex. And I did about 2
Hey,
coats.
Justin gave you a super chat. You need to know that dang old thing you got there. That was super nice. She says they're having she's loving watching this. That was nice of her husband.
I'm trying to figure out how to do that, but I don't see the option on my little chat bar thing here.
I have my phone up. I have the volume all the way down because we're live right now. There'll be a feedback. So turn your volume all the way down on your phone, and then just have your phone propped up. It is about a 5-second lag though. So, but yeah, Ben Gulf Guth said this is Jessica's husband. She's loving watching this. Gave $5 to you. I need to get one of those. You gotta let your lips flap on it though. Flap them lips.
That's for Ben. The horn. And I'm going to type the paint name for that. Sherwin-Williams Latex Flat. Straightforward. Great.
So, how often are you doing your live videos?
Well, it's pretty much whenever. I do, and I won't discuss it on the air, but I run a few different companies, so I've got a lot of professional pursuits, but it's kind of, the volume of work is kind of, you can't really predict what it's going to be. This week for me is kind of a slower week, so I'm going to ramp up and do a lot more live shows. Typically, I try to do at least one live show a week at a minimum, but
Right.
Here's the thing about live. Have you done a lot with live shows in the past, or are you just getting into it?
No, I'm just getting into it.
Here's the thing, and again, take it for what it's worth. I don't, this isn't official or anything, but what I've found is that there are metrics within YouTube, and one of the core metrics that I found that where a live show will add value is watch time. So, when you're doing these live shows, inevitably you're getting more engagement. You're retaining your viewers. I mean, a lot of times I may post a video, unless you're intimately interested in whatever topic, you may watch the first minute and drop off. It could be a 20-minute video. Live streams are a little bit different. I mean, just looking in the chat right now, for example, everyone we've seen in the chat, they're chatting, they seem to be sticking around. So you've got that viewer retention component. Live shows can add a lot of value to your channel just from a pure analytics perspective. I mean,
Right.
and that's why I like to do well, and I like to be goofy and blow my horn and my didgeridoo and do all that too. It's just it's fun, man. It's tinkering. If you're into this, admittedly, I'm kind of a computer nerd, and I just social media.
Don't blush. You're blushing right now. You like to blow that thing. That's cool. I want one of those. I used to play the trumpet, yo.
Yeah. They are cool.
Your face totally got red.
We did this thing out on the water, man. You do a didgeridoo on the water, and this thing, I mean, you can hear it across the lake, man.
Oh, yeah.
What's that?
Got another super chat in there, buddy. It looks like.
Oh, podcast buddies.
Damn.
That was a good one. Wow. That's impressive. Are your lips like numb from blowing like that?
That and the booze. Podcast buddies. Heck yeah. Robert can't figure out how to do the super chat, so he asked me to do it for him. Very cool. Yeah.
Yeah, no, this has been super informative, and I definitely subscribe. I subscribe to a lot of channels, so I definitely subscribe to yours, but yours is one of like maybe 3 that has the notifications.
Very cool. Well, Robert, hit me up when you get your channel up. I'd love to join. And then also, if you want to do any upcoming collaboration with like ATEM Mini Roadcaster, I think that'd be cool. Not only for your channel, but for my channel as well. I mean, because people are searching for this. I mean, if you have a topic idea, maybe you want to do a live stream and talk about functionality XYZ, and then I have a live stream, I talk about this component. I think it's something that could really benefit users everywhere, and then also ultimately benefit our channels because people will see these videos and want to subscribe to us.
See, and that's the other thing. I agree with you wholeheartedly, because when you watch a bunch of these videos, it's just one person telling you, but you have questions. I have questions. Like, I'm not a genius when it comes to this, so I have questions that I would think a lot of people have and can't readily find that information, but you seem to have a lot of it.
It just takes a lot of research, and that's the thing, is you get your hands on, you're going to know stuff that I've never experienced and I don't know, and and vice versa. So it's kind of a a cross pollination, of knowledge.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. It'll work.
Cross-pollination. That's a good way of putting it.
Cross pollination.
Now I'm not gonna lie. The videos that I've watched of yours are those mainly having to do with the ATEM and the road and your setup that you have. What are your other videos about?
Well, I'll tell you how the channel started. So this was about, and I forget the exact year, but I'll toss a link. This was back when YouTube Partner Program was by invitation only. And my wife and I went on a cruise. We went out of, it was a small cruise ship port called Mobile in Alabama. And,
Right.
And we went on this cruise, and I had a crappy camera. I mean, it was a $100 camera. It did a good job, but it wasn't anything great. And I was capturing videos and photos for, to share with family and friends. And when I got home, I'm like, video's too big to send through an email. So I found YouTube, and I'm like, well, I can use this, and I can send people a link, and they can watch the video. Long story short, made the video public. YouTube found the video, and they said, at a high level, would you want to become a YouTube partner? Normally, I would have ignored that type of email because it was, it would seem to be spammy. But since it came from Google, YouTube, I was like, yeah, I'm going to take a look at this. And from that point forward, I'm like, if I can take, this video with this poor quality camera and, and have a good time filming it, and it generates X number of views, and then it becomes eligible for monetization, what's the next level? So the logical next step was, okay, well, how can I, what can I video? So throughout any day, I've got my iPhone with me, and I'm writing down notes, tutorial topics, travel video ideas. To be frank, one of the biggest components beyond drones for my channel, drones really got them blowing up on the channel. We got a lot of feedback from drones. I adopted them kind of late, but I took them out in the field, showed people what they did well, what they didn't do well, didn't sugarcoat it. But I've really enjoyed the travel component, and YouTube has provided me with the opportunity to, to go to these destinations, but take a camera and capture it and share it in a way that may provide value for other travelers. So I'm having a good time capturing it. It's creating content for my channel. It's helping my channel grow. But, all of this was kind of, it all originated from that one cruise ship video that I didn't know anything about YouTube. I didn't know anything about YouTube Partner Program. I wish I had discovered this opportunity earlier in life, because it can be a great business. It really can be.
Oh, yeah. That's a fact.
Send some of them pollen fragments our way. Cross-pollinate.
Cross-pollinate, man.
Yeah.
That is definitely the way to do it.
Well, so what's your channel going to be about? Do you have a specific any specific subject matter, or?
Yeah, kind of. I'm irritated by local news and their lack of follow-up. So you'll see a story on the local news today that I don't know. Someone was killed in a car accident. We'll bring you more later, but the later never comes. So when you go to their website, it's never updated. There's no updates to anything, and most news seems to be not updated. So I read a lot of news. Like, that's what I do most of the day, is just read the news. Probably not a good idea to do it while I'm driving, but that's what I do for a living. So, yeah, I get to read a lot. But yeah, it started off with thoughts of that, and just wanting to, I guess, be more newsy than the news. If that makes any kind of sense.
So you want to tell the real story and the complete story. You don't want to tell the
Yeah, because it doesn't end with, hey, 2 people died. Well, who were they? Like, there's people who want to know.
And, you know, I think you're onto something big because, you know, it's with the news right now, one of the biggest problem that I see is ultimately they're selling conflict. I mean, you know, they can post whatever, whether it's complete or, you know, or a thorough post or whatever, which is, to your point, very, very rare nowadays. They're putting that up there pretty much for the sole purpose of generating, you know, chatter among people in the social media, whatever. They're all after ad revenue. They could care less about the actual news. All they want is the ad dollars.
Yeah. And so, but you wind up missing out on what you went there for with the news.
I think, dude, you do it right. That's a huge market because people are tired of the fake news. I mean, they really are.
Yeah. And there's fake news everywhere. And
Right.
The other problem is that you can't get people to believe. Look, reputable news can come from anywhere. So if you're on the left, there's reputable news that comes out of Fox News. And if you're on the right, there is some reputable news that comes out of CNN. But right now, it almost seems like, have you ever had any encounters with flat earthers?
Oh, I got a story for flat earth, man.
Yeah. Well, no matter what you tell them, they never believe.
No.
They never believe you. Your proof.
Yeah.
Your proof is fake to them, and it's irritating that all these people say that everything is fake. There's some things that actually did happen.
The flat earther, man. That I was at a barbecue about 2 years ago, and this guy, we were all sitting out. You know, everybody's out hanging out at the barbecue, drinking, having a good time, eating this, that, and the other. This guy would not get off of the flat earth thing, and he went on and would never, you know, regardless of what someone said, he had a counter argument. He's like, well, what about this? What about, and it just went on and on. That night, there was about a 4-hour flat earther conversation, and the flat earther left, and he was correct. You know, in his mind, he was correct, and he was never going to be, you know, told he was wrong. And it was just, and the other thing, you know, the moon landing hoax. That's another big one.
Yeah, and there's no proof, and every picture is a mosaic, so it's not one solid. You cannot win with these people, and so
I'm on this right now.
You're on the moon.
So you know where I live in Texas. I live in El Paso, Texas, and earlier this year, these 2 girls went missing. I think they're like 15 and 16 years old. I've never heard if they've been found. I don't know. The local news just stopped one day. And I don't understand, how can this happen?
So how would, with a story such as that, how would you follow up and produce a complete story? Would you just go to the, how would you dig deeper into that?
All right, so here's the idea. There's people that come up missing every day. All right, like every day. And if you listen to a lot of podcasts, or you know, if you're into the true crime thing, whatever, the one thing that you hear is that nothing happens for the first 24 to 48 hours. Period. It just doesn't happen. Friends and family can get involved, but that's as far as it goes. If they go to the cops, it's going to be 24 hours before, unless there's extenuating circumstances, like, hey, I found 3 gallons of blood on the floor. Oh, well, then let's go look at that. But barring that, it's not going to draw attention for 24 to 48 hours. So in theory, the way that this would work, the reason it's podcast buddies is because it's just a bunch of people that are into podcasts, video casts, you know, whatever, podcasts, whatever you want to call them. And so, like, are you in Alabama?
Yeah, right now, actually, I am.
Right.
In Georgia, right beside Alabama.
Okay, so you're in Georgia. So um, God forbid that something happened to somebody that you somewhat know, a neighbor 3 houses down. Well, if somebody wound up missing, ideally what would happen if once you got 10, 15,000 subscribers, right? You put on like a nightly show where you're talking about people who have shown up missing. And at that point, let's say Greg is terrific at Facebooking, right? So we come up with a name of someone who's missing. Greg can get on there and start looking at social media, Facebook, and say, hey, look, this. Maybe post, maybe send out some blasts. Maybe he knows how to do that kind of stuff, right? Also, I don't know what part of Georgia, but if you're in, I don't know, what is Smyrna, right? Smyrna?
Yeah, right outside of Atlanta. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you're in some town. Well, maybe you happen to know a printer there that you could get on the phone and say, hey, look, can we get 500 flyers? Because people still post flyers. Can we do and kind of like have like and because of social media, it doesn't have to just be people who are there local who are trying to find things out. Like Greg might be able to find someone who's a friend of somebody's on Facebook, right? Maybe that person found him, but Greg is chilling in South Dakota for all I know. I don't know, but Greg's really good at the YouTube, at the Facebook. So it's just an idea of not letting these people fall off, because they seem to fall off a lot.
Well, and to your point, what you said earlier too, just the, it's and I haven't researched this a lot, but what you were saying about the first 24 hours or so or whatever, that's a long period of time. I mean, if somebody's got ill intent, there's a lot of things that could happen within that 24-hour period.
And as a family member, you're itching to do something now. Now you're,
Is this something to? Is this? I'm sorry, but is this for like volunteers to help families, to push it out in the media, to find the people? Is this?
No, it'd be more to get the word out there. We're not investigators or anything like that. So the problem is that if you're made to wait 24 hours to report somebody missing, for those 24 hours,
Yeah.
the family member is trying to get something done.
Yeah.
However,
I know what you're talking about. That's crazy. That's a good idea. That would be something that you could push out to the media. And I'm not even good at Facebook, but yeah, if you got something like that, push that, because I work with missing kids and I'm a father, and I would 24 hours before that shit goes public, pardon my French, I would get pretty upset, and I would probably go out and try and take care of things myself.
In this way, if you're a father, so again, if something happened, and you've dealt with missing kids before, so if something happens right now and you have to wait 24 hours to report it, if you could be proactive to get the word out, because then other people in your community are aware that something is going on. Maybe they see something before the 24-hour period. Maybe they can call it in and say, hey, look, I've seen little Johnny running down the street. Oh, I seen him on his bike. He was headed towards the river. He had a fishing pole. Well, maybe little Johnny's over fishing.
So it's kind of like it's almost like an enhanced neighborhood watch type concept, except, I mean, utilizing social media and people from everywhere, and taking more expedited action, because, I mean, as a parent, when something's up,
right?
Right.
But to your point, you've got that 24-hour delay or whatever because of how the system works. So, how can you circumvent that and take more rapid action?
At least get eyeballs out there that when the 24 hours comes, they can say, no, I know for a fact I didn't see little Johnny because I was looking for him, because I knew that he was missing, because I seen it on this stupid podcast. So that kind of stuff. And then, of course, the feel-good stories where people get found. It's terrific. Little Johnny ain't missing. He went fishing by the river, so it's great.
I got a title for you if you want to hear it.
Go for
What's
it.
that?
It's just an idea. Before the first 24, or something like the first 24, not like the first 48. That's a murder thing, but like before the first 24, the 24 before the missing, the 24 before the miss. I'm just brainstorming right now. I love brainstorming.
Wow, that's pretty good. I'm but yeah, that's technically kind of what I want to put, and want to have it like news style, not really sensationalized or anything like that. Just, you know, legitimate. Hey, can we get some help?
Well, and that's kind of and it's not a missing. It's kind of a similar thing. There's a show, and I was watching it a few weeks ago. It's on I think it's IMDb or something. It's called I Survived. Basically, people. Have you seen that? This one guy, it was awful. He was caught in a it was a farm equipment that, you know, they harvested the corn, and his arm was caught in that, and he had to cut his arm off. And oh man, and then he was out in the street, and you know, trying to get somebody to help him, and they, you know, nobody would stop and help this guy. I mean, he's sitting there bleeding profusely. He's got a nub on his arm, and finally somebody helped him, but it's just, oh. But
I had to.
well, gentlemen, it's been really fun. We need to get up, you know, any sort of live show ideas. I'm always game. You know, like I said, I'm an independent YouTube channel, so I don't have to bark up to whatever network or whatever. So, you know, anything y'all want to chat about, brainstorm. I know, Greg, you like to brainstorm. Anything we want to do. I mean, you know, I'm always looking for, you know, for collaboration on YouTube. So,
Yeah, this has been beneficial.
I'm very happy that I got to meet both of you. I'm very happy that I joined in on the Skype call instead of just doing the phone one. The service that you help, that you provide, and this might not have been what you had in store for when earlier today when you set up your live stream, but that it evolved to this. This is terrific, because I couldn't have paid enough to get this information that I got, and more importantly, yeah, I like you guys, and I'd be more than willing to jump on whenever you're going to be doing stuff. Hopefully, I'll be at home where I got better lighting and all of that stuff, because I see this, it's kind of dark over here. But you guys have been a blast, and I appreciate all your help.
well, Robert, I appreciate you joining, and your concept is super cool. And I can't wait to see how it evolves. And seriously, hit me up whenever. And, you know, I'm always willing to join your channel for a live show, or, you know, toss me a message on Facebook or whatever, and we can brainstorm, you know, whatever you want to do. And Greg, we'll get up. I'm going to do an epic drone show. We'll have to get up and do a drone heavy show. How about that?
Yeah, copyright.
Well, gentlemen, y'all have a great night. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up and watch. I've been hooked on that show on Amazon called Bosch. I don't know if y'all have watched that, the detective show.
Oh yeah, love it.
The Boys. I've been watching The Boys. Season 2 came out. Crazy.
The Boys. I've got
the
that on
drone
my
thing,
watch
too.
list.
I've got several drones.
Cool. Oh, you do drones too.
Yeah, I got everything.
Oh,
I got
sweet.
the whole DJI lineup.
So
I got-
now, but you didn't find the channel
Baller?
for drones. You found it through the Roadcaster and the ATEM, right?
Yes.
That's weird, because drones are like the biggest thing on my channel. That and travel.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, Robert, Greg, y'all have a great evening, and you know, thanks again for tuning in. I'm going to go ahead and
Thanks for having me on here. You have a great night yourself. Stay safe.
y'all too. Be safe.
Thank you, everybody. Stay safe, everybody. Good night.
Good night.